You can love dudes and not act like a broad, right?
Right, because he really wears dresses.
Hey, man, I get it. You can love dudes, but you ain't a broad. You're a girl.
Wendy Williams came out of retirement solely to address E.J. Johnson, and that alone shows just how messy and chaotic the situation truly became really.
I just want to know who told EJ he was putting that shit on. Dressed to the nines, he said. Now, I give credit where credit is due, but baby, let's be honest, where's the fashion icon? Before you start trying to compare yourself and throw shade, let's have the credentials to back it up.
This time, she wasn't soft about it either. If you missed it, she showed up with her signature sharp tone, basically giving EJ a blunt reality check right in front of everyone watching.
About the Bergen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this is a 35 centimeter. This is a 35 centimeter, and 35 centimeters are for going to your daytime things, to your fashion show during the day, or to your lunch during the day, or to a breakfast during the day, or running your errands during the day. But anyway, it's during the day. Please don't bring your large format bag on a red carpet at night or during your dinner. You must go home and change and find a smaller format bag. Get into your 25 centimeter purse, or your mini Kelly is also an option. Something tiny. This does not go to dinner. She's not.
EJ has been moving extra bold lately, acting like he's the most attractive person in any room he walks into. He's even openly said he competes with women when it comes to men. That kind of energy didn't just raise eyebrows, it had the whole internet reacting. 1 minute, he wasn't even being talked about like that. The next, everybody had something to say. Influencers started calling him out, and women did too. Even some people who once supported him heavily switched up and began questioning his behavior. It wasn't just random critics either. It was people who had previously been on his side, which made the backlash hit differently. But instead of slowing down, EJ leaned all the way into it. He stood firm like he had something to prove, basically saying no apologies, no filter. This is who he is, and he's not changing for anyone.
Say call me EJ as much as possible.
Okay.
You know, it's like pronouns I don't really like he, but like I've also trained myself not to get upset when other people use it, which I think is very important. Because you're giving your power away when you lose it. You know, you give words too much of personal power. You know, they is fine, you know, whatever. She is cool. Like I'm really not a stickler about it.
That's when Wendy stepped in and addressed the situation, quickly reminding him how people were actually receiving that energy. Everyone already knew EJ was confident and expressive. That part wasn't new, but this time felt different. The way he began speaking about women had people looking at him sideways. He made it clear he's fully embracing his feminine side, and said that's not changing for anybody. He even told his parents, Magic and Cookie, to stop referring to him as he or calling him their son anymore, which added even more layers to the conversation. EJ also shared that he now goes by she and they, making it clear that he's leaving his past identity behind. At the same time, though, he said he's not transitioning and doesn't want to be placed in the same category as the trans community. That's where a lot of people started getting confused, and not quietly either. People were trying to understand how all of that fits together, and the reactions came in fast. On one hand, he's asking to be addressed a certain way. On the other, some feel like he's taking shots at women while doing it. That contrast is what really made things seem messy. It wasn't just about identity anymore. It became about how he was speaking and who he was directing that energy toward. EJ also stated clearly that he doesn't date gay men or trans men at all.
I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. Like, it's just not a thing.
According to him, he's only attracted to men with strong masculine energy, even going as far as to say he prefers straight men. That alone had people pausing because from the outside, the lines he was drawing didn't seem very clear. It started to feel confusing, and many weren't sure how to interpret what he meant. Some people even believed that the growing attention and support around him may have pushed things further, encouraging him to speak louder and take more extreme positions. Then he added another layer, claiming he always looks better than any woman in the room. Confidence on its own isn't the issue, but that statement struck a nerve because it shifted from self-assurance into direct comparison. That's what really sparked the backlash. Style, presence, and confidence are all valid, and no one is upset about someone feeling good about themselves. But once it starts turning into trying to outshine women, while also putting them down, that's when people began to pull back. It started to feel like he wanted to step into that same space, claim it, and still throw shade at the very people beside him. That contradiction is what made the situation spiral. At that point, many people also began pointing out something that was becoming increasingly hard to ignore.
Especially if I look cuter than any girl does, like, what's the problem? Like, what's the issue? And that's exactly how I apply it to myself to these days in the way that I present, like in my, in my feminine regalia. I've always been a feminine being, and like, that's just like how I best express myself. But I'm like, listen, I'm out all the time, and like, I'm killing a dress and no one else is. Like, the girls in the room are not doing it. Like, they don't look cute. They're not dressed to any nines. So
EJ isn't coming across as a girl's girl, and that label matters in this conversation. The way he carries himself has people questioning his intentions. Many fans say he's living an ultra-glam lifestyle, designer outfits, luxury everything, presenting a feminine image on the surface without dealing with the everyday pressures women face. People have been very direct about it, too. His last name comes up every time, with a strong belief that being Magic Johnson's son gives him a level of comfort most people don't have. Some critics haven't held back, arguing that no matter how he explains it, it looks like he's selecting the most glamorous aspects of femininity and treating them like something he can switch on and off. Meanwhile, women are dealing with real, everyday challenges, and that gap is exactly why many aren't convinced. The disconnect feels obvious, not subtle at all. Even as the backlash intensified, EJ didn't shift his stance. He made it clear he's not looking for approval from anyone and doesn't feel like he needs it. However, that response only added more tension instead of calming things down. That kind of confidence is easier to maintain when it's backed by a certain level of privilege, and people didn't ignore that aspect. The question started popping up everywhere. Would EJ have this level of visibility if he weren't Magic Johnson's son? That alone opened up a whole new conversation. It was no longer just about what he was saying, but how he got the platform to say it. At the same time, Wendy Williams wasn't about to stay quiet. Whether EJ agreed or not, she stepped in with a tone that made it clear someone felt it needed to be said out loud.
EJ Johnson said he is the baddest in the room. He's better than any other female in the room. Well, yes. If the room is empty. Listen, EJ, I don't understand why the LGBTQ community is always trying to be in competition with women. Women is not in competition with us, especially if you up there trying to be a woman. You in woman's clothes, you in a dress. And that's cool, express yourself how you want to, but why are you trying to bring down the next bit? You better than them. Anybody with two sets of eyes know that's not true. I don't know what land of delusion you reside in, but you best check the mailbox. The brochure said false advertisement. That is not true. That is incorrect. Okay.
From Wendy's perspective, the situation comes across as a mix of confidence and confusion, but not in a way that resonates well with the public. She made it clear that just because EJ isn't competing with men in the traditional sense doesn't mean women should automatically become the focus of comparison or criticism. That's the line many people refuse to overlook, and for a lot of viewers, that's exactly where the issue stopped feeling like harmless commentary and became something more serious. This reaction didn't come out of nowhere. People have been noticing a pattern in EJ's behavior for some time, especially in moments where emotions were involved. So when these new comments surfaced, they didn't feel random. They felt like a continuation of the same energy. That consistency is a big reason why the backlash has been so strong and immediate. Wendy also drew on her industry experience, pointing out that some men present themselves one way publicly while moving very differently behind the scenes, particularly when image and reputation are involved. That observation added another layer to the conversation. According to her, there are men who keep certain relationships private to maintain a specific image. So when EJ claimed he only deals with straight men, it raised eyebrows and sparked even more discussion. Many people aren't fully convinced by that explanation, and the skepticism has only grown louder. At the same time, the situation has expanded beyond EJ himself. It has reignited a broader conversation about people uplifting themselves by putting women down, a pattern audiences are increasingly tired of seeing. EJ has simply become the latest figure associated with that narrative, and the response has been anything but quiet. What really shifted the tone is that the criticism isn't just coming from outside observers. Members of the queer community have also spoken up, questioning his comments. That adds a different level of weight, as the pushback is now coming from multiple directions. At its core, the issue isn't confidence or self-expression. The real concern is how others, particularly women, are being spoken about in the process. That's why the situation keeps escalating instead of fading. Each time EJ addresses it, more people feel he's missing the bigger picture. It's not just about the words he chooses, but the tone behind them, and who ends up being targeted.
Yes, he's fine.
He's a loser.
You don't like him, EJ?
Okay.
I met Anthony over the summer when I was vacationing in the south of France. We flirted, made plans to hook up, and yeah, after that, I've noticed that he was talking a lot with Lisa in the corner, and then the man who led me on is now hooking up with my sister, and I'm supposed to be okay.
What really has people locked into this situation is the contradiction at its center. On one side, EJ Johnson is asking to be seen and addressed a certain way, which is completely within his rights. But on the flip side, he's making comments that come across as dismissive, and at times even competitive toward women. That clash is what isn't sitting right with many people watching this unfold. The balance simply isn't landing. You can't call for respect while also throwing subtle shots at the same group you're standing beside. That's where the disconnect keeps showing up, and people aren't ignoring it. Social media, in particular, has gone all in, breaking down his statements piece by piece and highlighting where things don't seem to align. Some say it feels like he's trying to distance himself from certain labels, while still stepping into spaces that come with lived experiences he doesn't fully share. That's where the tension keeps building, because people are paying attention not only to what's being said, but also to how it's being framed. The dating conversation pushed things even further when EJ doubled down, saying he prefers masculine, or even straight men. That immediately raised questions. For many, the logic doesn't quite add up. If someone identifies as straight, they wouldn't typically be part of that dynamic in the first place. That's why those comments are being scrutinized so heavily. People are now side-eyeing those claims even more and calling them out openly. It's also about delivery. EJ speaks with confidence, but for some listeners, that confidence starts to come across as superiority. Once that shift in tone is noticed, the entire conversation changes, and the backlash grows stronger. That's exactly how this situation gained momentum. The line between self-love and putting others down became blurred, and people picked up on that quickly. At the same time, Wendy Williams positioned herself as a voice saying what many others were already thinking but not expressing publicly. Drawing from her experience, she pointed out that this pattern didn't feel new. It just felt louder this time. In her view, the only real difference now is the spotlight. Everything is amplified. Every comment, every clip, every statement is analyzed in real time. And once that level of attention hits, there's no avoiding the response that follows. What started as commentary about EJ quickly evolved into something much bigger. The conversation now touches on respect, identity, and how individuals carry themselves in shared spaces. At its core, people aren't reacting to someone being confident or different. That's not the issue. What's driving the reaction is how that confidence is expressed and who it affects along the way. Unless something shifts, this situation isn't cooling off anytime soon. The more it's discussed, the more people will continue analyzing every detail. Every word, every interview, every clip is being examined closely. Once an audience feels like something doesn't fully add up, they don't just move on. They keep questioning until it either makes sense or falls apart entirely. At this point, it's no longer about a single moment or viral clip. It has become an ongoing conversation, fueled by questions around authenticity. And when authenticity is questioned, everything else comes under scrutiny as well. That's exactly where things stand with EJ Johnson right now. The central issue people keep returning to is respect, not just asking for it, but giving it too. If you want to exist in a space and be accepted within it, you can't enter that same space while tearing others down. That's the part that continues to strike a nerve. Many women have spoken up, saying they feel reduced to comparisons rather than respected as individuals. That frustration has been building, and now it's becoming louder. It's no longer just scattered reactions. It's a growing wave of responses gaining momentum as more voices join in. At the same time, people are looking deeper into what might be influencing all of this. Realistically, EJ didn't just wake up one day and start making bold statements out of nowhere. Whether it's the circles he moves in, the people around him, or the environment he's part of, something has contributed to that level of confidence. But now that public reaction has taken over, that same energy isn't shielding him the way it might have before. Instead, it's placing everything under a brighter spotlight. That's where Wendy Williams stepped in again, shifting how many people view the situation. She didn't soften her words. From her perspective, this goes beyond style or personality, it comes down to accountability. If you're going to speak on women, compare yourself to them, and position yourself in that space, then you have to be ready for responses from women and others alike. And right now, those responses are coming from every direction. What's drawing even more attention is how this situation is forcing conversations into the open. Topics people often avoid. Discussions around identity, privilege, dating dynamics, and social perception are all being pulled into the spotlight. Once those conversations begin, they rarely fade quickly. People are asking direct questions now, expecting clear answers, not vague statements or deflections. There's also a recurring reality check at play. Confidence doesn't automatically equal credibility. Just because something is said boldly doesn't mean it will be accepted. That's where EJ seems to be losing support. Instead of feeling inspired, many people are left confused, or even disrespected, by how his message is coming across. This situation also highlights how quickly public opinion can shift. One moment, someone is praised for being bold and unapologetic. The next, that same energy is being questioned from every angle. The internet doesn't let anything fade easily. Every clip, every quote, every reaction gets saved, replayed, and analyzed repeatedly, keeping the conversation alive whether someone wants it to slow down or not. There's a broader lesson underneath all of this. When someone builds their image around confidence and visibility, scrutiny becomes part of the package. The louder the message, the louder the response. And right now, that response is coming from everywhere: fans, critics, and even members of the same community. At this point, EJ is at a crossroads. Whether it's acknowledged or not, there's a choice to be made. Continue pushing the same narrative and face increasing pushback, or take in the feedback and adjust.